How you going? I'm just trying to, I guess, share with you guys the point of view from someone who's never done this before, and just reaching out for a lot of advice from lots of the popular YouTube channels, and just researching. I guess I'm just going to show you what I've done, so that I don't know, because everyone, you see a lot of people on the YouTube videos everywhere that they've done it once or twice before, whereas this is my first time I've ever done it. However, I am a trained mechanic. I've got quite a few feathers in my hat, I would say. But I just want to show you my process that I use for life in general and for planning. So the first thing I did when I got my link was sat down and figured out exactly which link I wanted, which is different for everybody. The next thing I did was plan my engine bay. So my engine bay is that guy there. It's a 1UZ Celica, and I'm running a Link Fury. Okay, I've got a little bit of far ahead, but I thought I'd just pause and just, I suppose, records for myself to see where I'm at, and show you how I got to where I am. So the first thing I did was, instead of trying to plan with hard wires, I drew the entire engine bay on this piece of wood. This is like 1 mil thick piece of wood from Bunnings. It's the piece of wood that you get on top of the ply that they get shipped in. And it's really good for just literally drawing out all of your cylinders, all of your injectors, where you've got, you might have your oil temp, pressure, your crank. You know, I've got all of my sensors roughly laid out where I think they're going to be, and I've got my pinout page here. Okay, that could live there. I've literally drawn little squares in the same configuration as my fuse box, so I can literally use a pencil and go, I'm going to put a wire here, etc., etc. That makes it, if I make a mistake here, and if you've got a basic understanding of how relays work, you can go, oh, that needs to go there. Oh, I've made a mistake here, and rub that out. And I've still got mistakes in this that I've fixed. So that's my first step. Once I've got that step, then I open up my laptop and I start assigning values in here to control all of these things in here. So that was my next step, is I started assigning values. Now, some of those things I'm working on, changing them around, but then we get over to this section here. So I've built, pardon the mess, I'm literally in the middle of it. So there's my fuse box. As you can see, it's exactly the same layout, okay? Simple as. And there's a tidy, well, as tidy as I can make it. Then we come down to the spaghetti. So in here, I've got my more spaghetti. Okay, I've got my ECU mounted in the glove box, and I've pulled through enough wire for me to check later on, okay? I think that's the most underrated thing. So there's enough wire for it to tuck up under there. Nice little loom. Laying it all out. So at the moment, it's all coming through the firewall. All the wires that I possibly could think of that would need to come through the firewall. Future-proof your wiring loom. Okay, I've got wires coming through there that are for vehicle speed sensors, because I'm running an electronic throttle. So I know eventually I'm going to put vehicle speed sensors in this, so I can have cruise control, launch control, all that sort of cool stuff. So I'm just going to bundle them up in the corner like a little magnet. But what I'm in the process of doing now is identifying each and every wire. So this one here, TPS main. So I know that wire is my TPS main, and I never have to go back to these sheets and continually go, oh, what's white and with the blue stripe again? Oh, that's right, it's TPS main. I just know that that's where that goes in there. So when I start bundling these up into little groups to go all over the engine bay, I know that I'm not going to go accidentally put TPS main down over where the oil pressure goes by accident. I just find that is, the more planning I'm doing, the easier it is for me to get my head around it, okay? I'm feeling less anxious about doing this, and I think asking lots of questions and putting stuff out there like this is an easier way for us all to learn. Now, I've hit up lots of people for questions, like Calvin from Cartoon Company, who sold me the CCU. And the reason why I bought it from him, for a couple of reasons, he's a 1UZ specialist. Okay, I don't have to explain to someone, I've got a 1UZ and a Celica, and they go, oh, what's a 1UZ? He knows exactly what I'm talking about. He sold me all the connections that I need, the coils that I need. So when I ask him a question about something, he knows what I'm talking about. That's why I bought it from him. There is link tuners and sellers in my town. I went and spoke to them, and they were just like, what's the 1UZ? Oh yeah, no worries, just call me when you're ready. And I was like, so talking to your tuners, what everyone says, but also talk to the person who's going to give you the most value for money. So some of my plan in that regard is, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet with my tune. Whether it's do I get Calvin to tune it over the internet, or do I go take it to my local dyno and I get them to tune it? That way I have another person that I can call and say, hey, I've got a problem, because they've tuned the vehicle. So I could also ask Calvin a question and he could remotely tune after the initial tune, or I can have a second party, a local guy that I could ring up on the weekends when I'm at a drag strip and go, hey, I've just got this issue, can you have a quick look? So that's another bit of planning that I'm coming up to now. So that's my progress so far, and I'm just slowly chewing through it. See ya. This is Blanky's Shed Shenanigans. See ya.